Hi, it's Mike with TouchGIS. Today I want to talk about the Snap to Features option in our draw mode settings. Snap to Features is especially useful when you want to ensure that the geometries you're drawing on the map are topologically consistent with other geometries already on the map. For example, maybe you are mapping two different habitats and you want to make sure that there's no overlap or gaps between them, or you're drawing two lines that are logically connected, that one ends either where the other starts or ends, or connects somewhere in the middle of it. So I've already got a couple of geometries on the map just to help us along here. And the snap to feature setting is available within the draw mode settings panel. So to start here, I'm going to pull up a new drawing. I'm going to add a blue polygon. We're going to simulate mapping another habitat on top of this green polygon we've already got here. So on this drawing screen, I can open the settings pane, and you'll see that in addition to the different drawing mode types we also now have a section for snap to features. Now this feature is off by default, so you have to go in and enable it if you'd like to use it. And you can see in this first row, we can just toggle that to enabled to start. We also have a maximum distance setting here, and we're using this in real ground distance to maintain that connection between what you're seeing on the ground and what you're seeing here on the screen. So the default is 10 meters, and this is adjustable really based on how precise you want your new geometries to be. Now, I'm pretty zoomed out here. 10 meters is pretty tight, so just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to increase this to 100 meters. I'll close the settings page by tapping on the button again. And what we'll see now, I have the crosshairs in the middle of the screen because I'm in the basic draw mode. You'll see that as I approach the green polygon, you'll start to see a snap target develop. And so let me zoom in here a little bit, and I'll move closer to this green polygon we've got here. And you can see the crosshair kind of grays out, and this new icon, a little circle with a cross in it, appears. And what that's telling me is that we have a current snap target on this green polygon, on the line, the outline of this green polygon. And if I were to add a point here, it's going to snap to the edge of this polygon. And when I say edge, I mean that this is a point on this line, which is between two other vertices. And so if I add this point here, I know for certain that the first vertex of this new polygon is going to be directly on that line between the two other vertices. Another icon you might see if you are lined up with the vertex of the other shape that's already on the map is this circle with another circle inside it. And as I said, this means that the current snap target is a vertex. It's a point that is defining the other geometry on the screen. And so I'll add the point here to get us started. And if I move away, you'll see that now that vertex that I just placed is on top of the other vertex defining the corner of this polygon. And so I can keep moving up the shape, perhaps, stopping at any point or making new points wherever you need them. But say I want to match the outline of this polygon and then keep going. And you can still, for sake of speed, if you want to change your draw mode in the middle of it, you can do that. Like I'll switch to free draw here just to finish the shape of this polygon really quickly. And you can also disable the snapping feature in the middle of your drawing. So if you wanted to connect one point, but you want to make sure there are other geometries around you don't want to snap to, you can turn that off in the middle of your drawing and keep going from there. In this case, I'm going to save this polygon, and you can see that now we have two polygons that are topologically connected. They're consistent because those two vertices that were placed between the two of them were placed in the exact same points. So that's one example. And you can snap to any of the geometries that we support. So if you want to snap to a point feature, that works as well. Obviously, point only has one point, so that's going to be a vertex. It's going to get you right into the middle of that point. You can also snap to other lines. And there's one other handy feature here for lines. Now, if you want to ensure that one line starts where the other ends, you can get your cursor close to the end of the line that you want to connect to, and you'll see another icon here, the circle with a triangle in it. And that triangle means that the current snap target is an endpoint of the line already on the ground. So again, if I tap add point here, that will make sure that vertex is placed directly on the ending vertex of the existing geometry, and then I can continue on with my placing from there. And this doesn't just work for drawing new geometries on the map. If you want to, draw a shape quickly and then go back in and edit the precision later, you can also go into edit mode and still, I'll show you if I open the settings pane, it's the exact same options for the snap to features setting of enabling it or disabling it and changing the maximum distance. And you can see, if I didn't want to snap to that endpoint, maybe I actually meant to snap to an edge somewhere in the middle here, I can move that point to that edge. Or maybe if while I was drawing, maybe you used free draw mode to put something down quickly, and now you want to connect these endpoints after the fact. Again, you can still go in and edit this line that we drew, find the snap point to the end, and just tap move there. Now, one last thing I do want to talk about is this feature does work when using free draw mode. And so to give an example, I'll create a red line and I'll change this to free draw mode. And you'll see as I start dragging over here to the left, no snapping is happening, but as I approach this blue polygon, as I get within snapping distance, you'll see that snap target icon reappears. And as long as I stay within distance on this polygon, it'll keep snapping. But then as soon as I get away, again, it frees up until I come to another shape. It snaps to that, and so on. So this works in basic or precise draw mode. This works in free draw. The only mode this will not work in is GPS recording. And that's how the snap to features option in our draw mode settings works. If you have any suggestions for how we could improve this, please, as always, let us know. I'm excited to see how you use this in the field.